Every now and again, something happens that is very exciting in comic books. So exciting that it almost gets you up out of your seat immediately. Like you're on go, you're ready for it. And that happened to me today when I read an article. I actually saw this article floating around on a bunch of websites. And I was like, okay, as soon as I get some time, I have to read this because I need to know what's going on. I like what I'm seeing. Look, comic book companies do things to make money. I don't know why people are surprised by that. Who wants to have a business and not do things to bring in revenue? Now, I'm not saying I want comic books to be only about money. Obviously, if it's only about money, there'll be no creativity involved in this, and it'll just be constant money grabs, but not really anything of substance. But you also have those situations where the fans will like this. The fans will pay for this. So you know what? This is what we're going to do. Marvel does this sometimes. Some people don't like it. I don't have a problem with it. They'll reprint older issues and they'll have like foil covers or variant covers. Some of these books I already have, and I'll see a foil cover of a reprint and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that. And I'll even read it again because I haven't read it in so long. I don't mind that. I actually like it. So even though some people see not all money grabs are good, but not all money grabs are bad either. Like if I'm Marvel and I'm like, yo, this is dope. Not only is it dope, fans will pay for it and we'll make a lot of money. Do it. So I saw articles floating around today. So there's Marvel and DC crossovers get ready to happen. I've been hearing rumblings about this for a while. And what I'm seeing, or the article that I've been seeing, is Batman and Deadpool. Now, this is an unlikely matchup. Maybe just me. Maybe there's somebody out there that said, no, I kind of expected this to happen. I was not expecting this. When I first saw Batman and Spawn, the original, and even the one that was just done, what was that, 2 years ago? 2 years, a year ago? I think it was 2 years ago. I can't even remember now. Might even be 3 years. I was like, yo, I understand. Like that's a match. Those two comic book characters that they gel. There's a darkness to Batman that kind of fits that Spawn verse. So I was like, I understand this one. Deadpool, even though there's a darkness to Deadpool, there is he's dark in a way that, I mean, and to some degree, Spawn is dark in a way that doesn't fit Batman, but in a way he does. I think their character personalities are in some ways similar, but Deadpool, oh man, his darkness is different. He is not like Batman. So when I saw these articles pop up, I was like, oh, I need to check this out. So this is from First Comics News. DC and Marvel collaborate on the most highly anticipated crossover comics of the year. Yo, and I'll say I can agree with this. I think when it comes to crossovers, I don't know of too many companies that will garner more attention than a Marvel and DC crossover. So I think that's accurate. I'll go with it. Announced earlier today in an unprecedented collaboration between DC Comics and Marvel Comics, the two highly anticipated DC Marvel crossover comic books coming to local comic book shops in 2025 are Batman Deadpool #1, published by DC Comics in November, and Deadpool Batman #1, published by Marvel Comics in September. Wild times. These two crossover one-shots between DC and Marvel have been more than 20 years in the making. Now, I wonder if it's like, if these two specific characters, like, was that 20 years in the making, or was it just the crossover in general? 20 years is wild for them to have been planning this for 20 years. That's like, I don't even understand. Like, what was the hang up? Where'd I live? It's 20 years in the making and are part of a larger collaboration between the two companies, a crossover program like the comic book industry has never seen. And I gotta admit, that's Batman and Deadpool. Who saw that coming? Batman Deadpool #1 will feature lead story written by legendary scribe Grant Morrison and brought to light through the stunning artwork of Dan Mora. Beyond the main event, Batman Deadpool #1 will feature an exciting lineup of backup stories, each showcasing dynamic matchups between beloved characters from both universes. Details on these thrilling tales and their creative teams will be coming soon. This landmark crossover marks the first major collaboration between DC and Marvel in decades, bringing together Gotham's Dark Knight detective and Marvel's Deadpool in an explosive adventure that fans never expected but always dreamed of. I can say these are two characters I never thought would come together in any fashion. And the whole idea of Deadpool breaking the third wall, I think that's what it's called, talking directly to the audience, that is a dynamic that I'm looking forward to in this one right here. I think this is a good choice. Like anything could possibly fail, but as of right now, this seems like a good choice. I don't want to share too much, but it's just a very creative story in the best sense in terms of what Grant Morrison is known for, said DC president, publisher, chief creative officer Jim Lee. Dan Mora, of course, is just killing it right now. He's one of our perennial visionaries, I think, for the DC universe. His style is just so dynamic, but also very clean and classic. I like that. I like dynamic, but clean and classic. I think sometimes with stories, some writers try to go, what's the word I'm looking for? Like too avant-garde. They try to go too artsy with it, and then it kind of gets out there. Well, for me, some people might like it, but for me, I like traditional comic book stories. Give me something compelling. Make the bad guys menacing. Make me fear the bad guys, and I want to see the hero win, but I want it to be a razor thin margin. That's the kind of stories that I like. But it looks like this is going to be good. You know what I wondered? This is something I'll post a link to the article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can go to First Comics News and check it out. I wonder how this would work. I tell you what I want to see. I want to see a Marvel DC crossover, but only with all the villains. So like you can have a crossover where you have Magneto crossover into the DC universe, but not the anti-hero Magneto, the menace that came to kill everything and destroy worlds. That's the Magneto I want to see in the DC universe, because I would wonder, man, like how are they going to deal with this one? Like ultimately, I know the first thing people think is, oh, Superman will take care of him, but would he really though? How would that go exactly? Might not go how you think. And then I wonder, how would some of the more powerful characters in the Marvel universe deal with Darkseid? Oh man, that would be a crossover I would definitely want to see. I think I would enjoy Magneto in DC more than I would enjoy somebody like a Thanos in DC, because you would think, people probably pair Thanos and Darkseid, although, the consensus is Darkseid is definitely more powerful. Well, the consensus amongst some. But yeah, Magneto, that's what I would want to see. Magneto is my favorite villain, even though he's more anti-hero-ish than he is villain, but I still like his powers, just his backstory, him in general. That is what I would love to see. I'm excited for this. Could it fail? Could it flop? That's always a possibility. But as of right now, this is something I am 100% excited for.